Respected everyone, listen closely because today we are going to talk about something that goes deeper than attraction, deeper than words, and deeper than appearances. A real man is not moved by what you give him on the surface. He is transformed by what he feels in his heart. The greatest connection is not created by chasing someone, but by understanding the value, respect, and love that builds a bond between two people. There comes a time in every person's life when they have to understand that love is not about tricks, games, or trying to control someone's emotions. Love is about knowing what truly reaches another person's soul. A man can have money, success, confidence, and everything the world tells him he needs. But there are still moments when he feels empty, unheard, and unseen. And the person who knows how to touch his heart, encourage his dreams, and make him feel valued becomes someone he never forgets. Many people believe relationships are built only on chemistry, but the strongest relationships are built on connection. A man remembers the person who believed in him when nobody else did. He remembers the person who brought peace into his life when the world felt heavy. He remembers the person who saw his potential before he even saw it himself. The truth is, every person has certain places in their heart that need care. There are three powerful things that reach a man deeply, and they are not about perfection or pretending to be someone you are not. They are about understanding the human being behind the image. They are about knowing that beneath every strong face, there is a person who wants to feel respected, appreciated, and loved. The first thing a man deeply values is respect. Respect is the foundation that holds relationships together when emotions become difficult. A man may forget many conversations, but he will never forget how someone made him feel when life was challenging. When a woman respects his efforts, his dreams, and his journey, she gives him something that cannot be bought. Respect does not mean agreeing with everything. It does not mean losing your own voice. Real respect means understanding that both people matter. It means communicating with kindness, listening with patience, and recognizing that love grows when two people lift each other instead of trying to break each other down. I remember hearing stories of people who had everything they thought they wanted, but they lost the one thing that truly mattered, someone who made them feel understood. Because success without connection can become lonely. Achievements without someone to share them with can feel empty. A person can stand in a crowded room and still feel alone if they do not have someone who truly sees them. That is why the smallest moments often become the biggest memories. A simple conversation after a difficult day, a word of encouragement when someone feels defeated, a reminder that they are not fighting their battles alone. These moments create emotional bonds that last longer than temporary excitement. The second thing that reaches a man deeply is appreciation. Everyone wants to feel that their efforts matter. Sometimes people only notice what someone does wrong, but they forget to recognize what that person does right. A healthy relationship is not built by constantly pointing out failures. It is built by acknowledging growth, effort, and intention. Imagine a person who spends years trying to build a better life, carrying responsibility silently, trying to stay strong even when they feel tired. Sometimes they do not need someone to fix everything. Sometimes they just need someone to say, "I see your effort, I appreciate you, your hard work matters." Those words can change someone's entire day. They can remind someone why they continue pushing forward. They can bring confidence back into a heart that was slowly losing hope. But appreciation must be genuine. People can feel when kindness is fake. They can feel when someone is only giving compliments to get something in return. True appreciation comes from recognizing the person, not just what they provide. The third thing that creates a powerful connection is emotional safety. A person should feel that they can be themselves without constantly fearing judgment. The strongest relationships are not the ones where two perfect people come together. The strongest relationships are where two imperfect people create a safe place for each other to grow. A man who feels emotionally safe can open up in ways he never thought possible. He can share his fears, his dreams, his struggles, and his insecurities. Because even the strongest people have moments when they need someone who understands them. The world often tells men to hide their emotions, to never struggle, and to always appear powerful. But behind every successful person is a story filled with challenges, mistakes, and moments of doubt. The person who creates a safe environment allows another person to remove the mask and become real, But remember this, creating a deep connection does not mean forgetting your own worth. A person should never have to beg for love, chase attention, or lose themselves to keep someone else. The most attractive quality is not desperation, it is confidence. It is knowing your value and bringing your best self into a relationship. When you understand your own worth, you stop trying to force someone to choose you. You become someone who naturally attracts respect because you respect yourself first. A relationship should be a partnership, not a competition. It should be two people saying, how can we make each other stronger? Not two people asking, what can I take from this person? The biggest lesson is this. The power of love is not found in controlling someone's feelings. It is found in creating a connection where both people feel respected, appreciated, and understood. Because at the end of the day, people do not stay because someone looks perfect. They stay because they feel something real. They stay because they found peace. They stay because they found someone who adds value to their life instead of bringing more pain. And when you learn how to connect with someone's heart, you discover that the strongest relationships are not built through manipulation. They are built through honesty, kindness, patience, and genuine care. The person who knows how to love with wisdom does not just capture attention for a moment. They create a memory that lasts for a lifetime. The journey of understanding love and connection does not end with knowing what touches someone's heart. The real challenge is learning how to maintain that connection through the difficult seasons of life. Because anyone can love when everything is easy. Anyone can smile when there are no problems, no pressure, and no challenges. But true character is revealed when life becomes complicated. A strong relationship is not measured by how two people act during the best moments. It is measured by how they treat each other during the hardest moments. A man who feels respected, appreciated, and emotionally safe will naturally want to protect and value that connection. Not because he is forced to, not because someone is controlling him, but because human beings naturally hold on to places where they feel peace. Think about your own life. The people you remember the most are not always the ones who gave you the biggest gifts. They are often the people who showed up when you needed them. They are the ones who listened when everyone else was talking. They are the ones who believed in you when you were struggling to believe in yourself. That is the type of impact a person can have in someone's life. Many people make the mistake of thinking that love is about doing more and more to prove their worth. They think they have to constantly impress someone, compete with others, or become someone they are not. But real love does not require you to lose yourself. The right connection allows you to become more of who you already are. A valuable person does not have to chase attention. A valuable person creates an environment where respect naturally grows. One of the biggest lessons in relationships is understanding the difference between attention and connection. Attention can be temporary. Anyone can capture someone's attention for a moment, but connection is different. Connection is built slowly through trust, honesty, and consistency. Attention asks, how do I make someone notice me? Connection asks, how do I understand someone deeply? That difference changes everything. A person can be physically attractive, successful, and exciting, but if there is no emotional connection, the relationship often becomes empty. Because the heart does not only search for excitement, the heart searches for comfort, understanding, and belonging. A man may meet many people throughout his life, but the person who makes him feel like he can finally take a breath becomes unforgettable. That is why the small things matter. The way you speak when you are angry matters. The way you handle disagreements matters. The way you support someone's dreams matters. The way you treat someone when you have nothing to gain matters. Character is revealed when there is no audience watching. A lot of people know how to show love when they are trying to win someone. They bring flowers, they say beautiful words, they make promises, and they show their best side. But real love begins after the excitement fades. It begins when two people see each other's imperfections and still choose kindness. Because everybody has flaws. Everybody has wounds. Everybody has moments when they are not at their strongest. The question is not whether someone is perfect. The question is whether two people are willing to grow together. A mature person understands that relationships are not about finding someone who has no problems, They are about finding someone who is willing to face problems with you. A man who feels that he has a true partner beside him will fight harder, dream bigger, and become stronger. Not because someone completed him, but because someone encouraged the best version of him. And this is something many people forget. Encouragement is powerful. A few words of belief can change the direction of someone's life. There are people walking around today who gave up on their dreams because nobody encouraged them. They stopped trying because they felt like nobody cared. They became smaller because the people around them only reminded them of their failures. But one person who says, "I believe in you," can awaken something inside another person that they thought was gone forever. Never underestimate the power of your words. The way you speak to someone can either build their confidence or destroy it. Words can become a shelter or a storm. A wise person learns that love is not only shown through actions, it is also shown through communication. How do you speak when you are frustrated? How do you respond when someone makes a mistake? Do you try to understand before judging? These moments reveal the strength of a relationship. A person who truly cares does not use someone's weaknesses as a weapon. They protect the person they love, they correct with kindness, they communicate with respect. Because love should never feel like a battlefield where two people are trying to win. Love should feel like two people standing on the same side. But there is another important truth that must be understood. You cannot give someone what you do not have within yourself. If you do not respect yourself, you will constantly seek validation from others. If you do not appreciate yourself, you will accept being treated in ways that hurt you. If you do not create peace within yourself, you will expect another person to carry the weight of your happiness. Your relationship with yourself creates the foundation for every other relationship in your life. A person who knows their worth does not beg someone to stay. They invite someone to build something meaningful together. There is a difference. Begging comes from fear. Building comes from confidence. When you know who you are, you stop trying to convince people of your value. You allow your actions, your character, and your heart to speak for you. The strongest attraction is not created by pretending to be someone else. It is created by becoming the best version of yourself. A person who takes care of their mind, their emotions, their goals, and their purpose becomes naturally powerful because confidence is attractive. Peace is attractive. A person who knows their direction in life becomes someone others respect. And this brings us to a deeper lesson. Love should add to your life, not become your entire identity. A relationship should be a beautiful part of your story, but it should never erase who you are. Your dreams still matter. Your purpose still matters. Your growth still matters. The right person will not ask you to become smaller so they can feel bigger. The right person will encourage you to rise because true love does not limit you. True love inspires you. And when two people come together with that mindset, something powerful happens. They stop trying to complete each other and start choosing to strengthen each other. That is when a relationship becomes more than just feelings. It becomes a partnership. It becomes a place where two people can grow, heal, and create something meaningful. And the person who understands this will never have to chase love. They will become someone who naturally attracts the kind of love they deserve. There's a moment in every relationship where emotions are tested, where the excitement fades, and where two people have to decide if what they built is strong enough to survive real life. Because love is not proven when everything is perfect. Love is proven when patience is required, when forgiveness is needed, and when understanding becomes more important than being right. A lot of people know how to love the easy version of someone. They love the confidence, the success, the smiles on the good days. But the deepest kind of love is when you can see someone's struggles, their fears, their past mistakes, and their imperfections, and still choose to treat them with kindness. That is where emotional maturity begins. Many people enter relationships looking for someone who will make them happy every second of every day. But that expectation creates disappointment because no human being can carry the responsibility of being another person's entire source of happiness. A healthy relationship is not two broken people searching for someone to fix them. It is two complete people choosing to walk together, support each other, and create something greater than what they could create alone. The strongest connections are built when two people understand that love is not just about receiving, it is about giving. It is about asking, how can I make this person's life better? Instead of only asking, what can this person do for me? A man who feels genuine care will notice the difference. He will notice when someone is only interested in what he provides, and he will notice when someone truly values who he is. Because every person wants to be loved for more than what they can offer. A man is not just his money. He is not just his job. He is not just his achievements. Behind every person is a story. There are sacrifices nobody saw. There are battles nobody knew about. There are moments where they had to stay strong, even when they felt like giving up. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who carry the heaviest burdens silently. And that is why understanding someone's heart is so powerful. When you recognize the person behind the appearance, you create a bond that goes beyond the temporary. One of the biggest mistakes people make is taking someone's effort for granted. They become comfortable receiving love, support, and attention, but they forget that relationships need care from both sides. A garden does not grow because one person waters it once. It grows because it receives consistent attention. Relationships work the same way. Small acts of kindness repeated over time create something powerful. A simple message asking how someone's day was. A moment of listening without interrupting. A reminder that someone's efforts are noticed. A sincere apology when you are wrong. These things may seem small, but they create emotional security. People often search for grand gestures, but the heart is usually touched by consistency. Anyone can make a promise. Character is shown by keeping that promise. Anyone can say, I love you. But love is proven by actions, the way you show up, the way you communicate, the way you handle problems, the way you protect the trust between you. That is what creates a lasting connection. But there is another important lesson that many people learn too late. Never lose your identity while trying to keep someone else. Sometimes people become so afraid of losing a relationship that they abandon themselves. They stop following their dreams. They stop spending time on their own growth. They change who they are just to avoid conflict. But a love that requires you to disappear is not a love that allows you to grow. The right person will appreciate your individuality. They will respect your goals. They will celebrate your progress. They will want to see you become stronger, wiser, and happier. A powerful connection is not created when two people become the same. It is created when two different people respect each other's differences. A confident woman does not need to compete for a man's attention. She understands that her value comes from within. She knows that the right person will recognize her heart, her character, and her energy. And a confident man does not need to prove his worth through control or pride. He understands that real strength comes from responsibility, honesty, and emotional awareness. When two people understand their own value, they create a relationship built on choice instead of fear. They choose each other because they want to, not because they cannot survive without each other. That is the kind of connection that lasts. Because fear creates attachment, but love creates freedom. A person who truly loves you does not want to own you. They want to know you. They want to understand you. They want to support your journey while sharing their own. And sometimes the greatest expression of love is not holding on tighter. Sometimes it is creating enough trust that both people feel safe being themselves. The world teaches many people to chase love, but the wiser lesson is to become someone who is ready for healthy love. Work on your communication. Work on your emotional strength. Work on your confidence. Work on your ability to give and receive respect. Because the quality of the relationship you attract often reflects the relationship you have with yourself. If you constantly doubt yourself, you may accept less than you deserve. If you believe you are valuable, you will recognize when someone values you. Never forget that love is not about convincing someone to see your worth. Your worth already exists. The right person does not create your value. They recognize it. And when two people come together with that understanding, something beautiful happens. They stop searching for someone to complete them and start building a life where both people can become better. That is the foundation of a powerful relationship. not perfection, not pretending, not games, but two hearts choosing honesty, respect, and growth every single day. Because at the end of the journey, people do not remember every conversation or every moment. They remember how you made them feel when life was difficult. They remember who brought peace into their chaos. They remember who believed in them when they were struggling. They remember who stood beside them when walking away would have been easier. That is the kind of impact a person can leave on another human being, and that is the kind of connection that becomes unforgettable.